What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you have not already, please join the fam and subscribe to the channel as we drop content daily. Go live daily. Stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, man, my favorite part of this game, please leave y'all thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to know what y'all have to say about these topics that we discuss. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the work. As Fox Sports One is scrambling, and it is evident to see. Just as a caveat, man, I used to make it a habit of bad mouthing these lame stream networks. Initially, when I started my channel, because when I started my channel, it was out of a bit of a frustration as well as a passion. Frustration with the mainstream media's reporting of sports, and my passion for sports. Is what pretty much led me to becoming a sports journalist myself. Um, and I, used to bash them all the time because, of course, we know that they talk about LeBron, the Lakers, the Cowboys to a nauseum, amongst other topics. And when they do talk about topics, there's never objective. There's always some cap bias, glazing going on, or they're just egregiously tearing down an athlete. It's never fair and just journalism anymore. Um, so it's kind of I agree to stop bad mouthing them and just let them put their own foot in their mouth. You know what I mean? And that's essentially what's been happening. It all kind of started with, Shannon Sharpe leaving Fox Sports One. Now, I support Shannon Sharpe, but I can't really completely rock with him because of his over infatuation with one LeBron James. Acknowledging that Shannon Sharpe is still a rising star in the media, despite all of that, I can only rock with him so much. I can only rock with him so far, because eventually Shannon Sharpe is gonna piss me off with one of his LeBron James takes. But talent like him, you just can't let them walk out the door. And now that Skip Bayless is no longer with Fox Sports One, and his show Undisputed won't be on the airways for the foreseeable future, um, Fox Sports One is scrambling to find a new flagship show for that network, as well as a new quote unquote face of the franchise, if you will. Now, when I initially reported this, that Skip Bayless would be leaving, um, after all of the research and investigating I was able to do, it was presumed that Nick Wrights and Chris Broussard's and I forget the other gentleman's name. Man, I just was just reading about him. I mean, he's probably the one that the guy that's on that show, First Things First, with Chris Broussard and Nick Wright. And I can't think of his name, but at the same time, he's probably the best analyst on that show, right? But my research has showed that Fox Sports One was considering moving Nick Wright up to Skip Bayless's slot, moving Nick Wright and First Things First up to Skip Bayless's undisputed spot, excuse me, and then having a rerun of First Things First immediately after that. So it'll pretty much be 2 hours of First Things First, one live, one and one recorded, a rerun, if you will. And I didn't like that idea just because Nick Wright is very unpopular. Well, let me say this: I don't see a lot of people out here quoting Nick Wright when they're giving their sports takes, which leads me to believe that not a lot of people find substance with Nick Wright. He does a lot of camping, he does a lot of objective reporting, so it's kind of hard to enjoy him talking for any amount of time. But it seems to me that Fox Sports will be moving him up to be the quote unquote face of the franchise, as well as First Things First as their flagship show. But a new report has come out and said that they're also considering Emmanuel Acho, and who I cannot stand. I ain't gonna say I can't stand Acho, but I can only listen to Acho for so long. I can listen to him in like 2, 3, maybe 5 minute increments. The only time I really listen to Acho is when I'm watching like a clip from their show Speak, and it's never, you've never seen me do a reaction to an Emmanuel Acho take because it's never intriguing. Joy Taylor, I do have a very high respect for. I love Joy. She keeps it $1, so I'll support her. I'll watch for that. But even with Joy, she can only go so far as her sports takes because I mean, as a female reporting on male sports, there's going to be a disconnect there, amongst the audience, not just her. It's just going to be a disconnect as far as believability and actually taking her take seriously. Although I would say that Joy is usually giving some fire takes. I just don't know if the general audience will really take to her, but I know for sure the general audience won't take to Nick Wright. Chris Broussard has been in the game for a mighty long time. He has a very successful podcast with Rob Parker. I should say radio show with Rob Parker. But I don't think, Chris Broussard could carry the network, just on his shoulders alone. He's been around a long time. And again, Chris Broussard, a little bit more credible than Nick Wright. I would say a lot more, but I don't think that he has the popularity or the personality to attract the kind of numbers that Fox Sports 1 is looking for. But they scrambling, man. And, I'm just happy to see it for the sake of Shannon Sharpe, how he was unjustly let go, for all of the disrespect that Skip Bayless has bestowed on athletes, coaches, organizations, out of nowhere. I'll never forget how cold and callous Skip Bayless was towards Damar Hamlin when he had his essentially, was not with us for a good little while on the football field on live television. Skip was very cold in his takes and his approach to that situation. And I've been off of Skip ever since then. I've been tolerating him, but I've been off of him ever since then. But now that he's gone, he'll be off the airways for good. I'm happy that Fox Sports 1 is in the position that they're in because you all let, I'm gonna talk right to Fox Sports, right? You all let Shannon Sharpe walk out the door for nothing just to appease Skip Bayless, who brings the show nothing. The only reason that show had good ratings was because of Shannon Sharpe. And that's why his audience has followed him right to the podcast world, right to ESPN. And wouldn't you know, Skip Bayless will no longer be with Fox. This would have been a perfect time to usher Shannon Sharpe in as the quote-unquote face of Fox Sports, and I think he would have done a fantastic job in that role as we see him thriving now, with his podcast and on ESPN. But they'll let him walk out the door for nothing. And it was all just to appease Skip Bayless, again, who brings the network nothing of value. If y'all is to go by Skip Bayless's YouTube channel, it's sad work, for somebody that's been on TV as long as he has, that has the resources and connections that he has, and he's pulling numbers like a regular YouTuber. I don't get it. But again, I am happy to see Fox Sports 1 in this position. Because they did it to themselves, man. And ESPN is over there booming. ESPN got so many successful shows. I don't tune and tap into all of them, but I'd much rather watch ESPN than Fox Sports on any given day of the week. And not just because of that, but the numbers show that as well. A lot of people have preferred ESPN, and that's crazy to say in itself, but prefer ESPN over Fox Sports because just the attractiveness of the content and the personalities that they have. Fox Sports doesn't have any of that. They don't have any of the attention drawing kind of personalities or the substantial shows that ESPN has. And so I think that now they're in a position I don't know. And like I said, I can't even really speak 100% to exactly what I think is going to happen next because this situation can go so many different ways. I mean, they still have a few hosts on, the show that could probably carry Undisputed, and I ain't gonna say carry, but could be on Undisputed and help try to make that show relevant again. Even if they, run with that show, I'm not sure if they're gonna change the name of Undisputed altogether. But um, even if they're gonna do all of that, I just don't know who can you put on there that's gonna draw an audience. I mean, Skip was the most polarizing personality on your show, and nobody liked him. Nobody likes Nick Wright. People are kind of, as far as I can tell, iffy about Chris Broussard because Chris Broussard, like Shannon Sharpe, at any given moment will and can start glazing LeBron James to nauseum. So uh, I don't know, man. I think this is all coming from. This is all because, they let Shannon Sharpe just walk out the door, for nothing. Not even a bag of chips in return. And Shannon Sharpe has taken his very large and faithful following to ESPN and to his podcast, and now I don't know what Fox Sports is going to do. And I keep saying that because I'm trying to think of a scenario on the fly. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, maybe I didn't think about this when I was taking my notes. Nothing is coming to mind. But at the end of the day, they did it to themselves, and I won't be surprised if Fox Sports, if they still got shows going on and all that stuff, if they just go into complete irrelevancy at this point because ain't nobody checking for them. But yeah, man, yeah, that's good news for us. Won't have to listen to so much propaganda, and we could probably get some real voices into the sports world that people can depend on. Be faithful to deliver some substance. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you don't mind, join the fam and subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily. Go live daily, stay busy on this platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section as I'm always intrigued to know what you all have to say about these topics. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.